That's big business. Hit town, but that's big pimpin'. My potential, that's infinite. Pin game insane. Make hits like King Griffin, a 10th inning.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's been a little while, but welcome to the 10th Inning Podcast. I think this is episode 34.
I think so.
Before I just completely guessed on that one. We're back stateside, or Dan's back stateside. Dan, you want to give us just a brief overview of how the trip went and just let everybody know how you're doing?
I would love to, Sean, but I mean, you gotta introduce us first. What if these are first-time listeners?
That's true. I'm Sean. He's Dan. This is the 10th Inning Podcast.
And this is Christian the Okapi. I got him at the London Zoo. Okay, he's beautiful. He really is. Named him Christian after a friend I made on the trip, who I missed very much when I had COVID. During the trip. So yes, I am back stateside finally. I had a tough bout with COVID in London, and I am recovered. Probably the greatest trip of my life. It was fantastic. Wearing a Wimbledon hat today in honor of it. I know next time I said I'd see you guys in Paris. I didn't get to go to Paris. I got COVID the day before. So God bless, Sean. We're here to talk about baseball. You know?
God bless. And there's a lot to talk about, a lot of little storylines that we want to go for. Over here in the New York area, teams are on fire. First time since 1988, the Mets and Yankees both have been in first place in Memorial Day. There's a lot going on. I saw something today. I don't know if I misread it or not, but something along the lines of there are six teams in each league that are over 500. The rest are under. I didn't look too much into that. I saw it on Twitter literally right before I hopped on. There's definitely – it's top-heavy. You know, it looks that way so far. The NL East is only one team over 500. I mean, the AL East is opposite of that. You got a lot of teams that are clawing away there. But it's kind of an interesting thing that was brought up during the last CBA about teams tanking. I mean, look at Cincinnati and Oakland. They're not even trying to win. It's just kind of an interesting thing that I've noticed, and everybody's kind of noticed over the start of the year. Obviously, some teams are off to slow starts. You got Seattle. You got Atlanta. Those teams are trying to win. They're just off to a bit of a slow start. Philly as well. But it's kind of something that is interesting to look at.
You are correct. 6 teams in each league are over 500. And in both leagues, the NL West for the NL and the AL East for the AL, 3 teams of the 6 are from one division, which means the two other divisions they're not doing well, Sean.
No.
They're not doing well at all, if I'm being frank with you. The AL Central has only one team over 500. And let's see. The NL East has only one team over 500.
You know, as I said, some teams maybe aren't necessarily trying to win right now. But you also have teams like Atlanta and Seattle and Philly, like I mentioned, who are trying to win, who aren't doing well. I wonder if maybe part of that is due to the shortened spring training. You know, maybe some guys took a little longer to get into the swing of things. But either way, it was a kind of an interesting stat that I saw that I figured I'd bring up just to kind of, get the ball rolling in that regard.
Appreciate it.
Yeah. I guess we'll dive into some more league news. Some teams struggling. Philadelphia, the Phillies, they can't catch and throw a ball without screwing it up. I'm sure, Dan, you saw the play where the Real Muto threw the ball to second to catch a runner stealing, went past the second baseman, past the shortstop backing up, and then past the center fielder, Odubel Herrera. It is something you see in, frankly, Little League. That's kind of a microcosm of the season so far there. I think 21-28 right now. They lost to the Giants today in extra innings. Not looking too pretty. Joe Girardi's on the hot seat, which I believe I said was one of my hot takes that he's could get fired at some point this year.
That was a hot take of yours. Defense wins championships. My only statement on the whole matter.
Yeah, it doesn't help that Kyle Schwarber is hitting 188 right now.
Doesn't help my fantasy team either. I'll let you know right now, Kyle, if you're listening. Does not help my fantasy team. So how about we kick that one in gear, okay? Because you're actually going to be one of the picks to click things later on, and it's not a positive way. I'll tell you right now, it's not a positive.
Yeah, I believe he's leading the National League in strikeouts currently.
Yep. No, you're getting warm, Sean. You're getting warm to the pick to click. And, I'm going to pick him, and it's not going to be positive. Okay.
Also, Nick Castellanos did it again today with hitting a home run in a terrible spot. They were honoring Memorial Day. The Phillies put an empty chair in the outfield, and they're like, "This is to honor all the fallen, soldiers." And it's like, and Castellanos hits one to deep left field. I just saw the video as John Boy put it on Twitter. It was quite funny. This is, I think, the third time this has happened now. So Castellanos just knows how to do it. Let me see some of the other things I had written down here. Frankly, I know we're kind of going to this later about some players who are doing well, but I'm just going to jump right into it now. If you're not familiar with Luis Guillorme, get familiar with Luis Guillorme.
I like
the man at game one right now is currently 2 for 2, 2 runs. I mean, he's hitting 372 right now. He started the year 1 for 20, shaved his beard and got hot. He has done so well. He has forced his way into the starting lineup with the Mets, and he was basically just a defensive late inning replacement his whole career until now. Has a great beard. He's chubby, but he's fast. We love that combination. And he just kind of puts the ball in play. Not a lot of pop, but goes gap to gap.
Yeah, I mean, I love players like this, the Luis Arias type. They're just fun. They're just fun. Period.
Yeah.
They're winning players too. They're not just. I don't want to say they're just fun and cap them at that. Like it's some kind of ceiling. They are winning ball players. Okay, teams that have these kind of players, especially in the postseason, seen it time and time again. If you can put the ball in play, you're going to win the game. Again, great beard. I heard you just said he shaved it though. I haven't seen him beardless.
When he was 1 for 20 to start the year, he shaved, clean shaven. Now it's growing back.
Okay, thank God. Yeah, because that'd be a terrible decision long term. I understand, obviously, superstitious wise. I'm glad that worked out for him. But yeah, definitely grow that back, Luis. I know you're listening right now. I'm proud of you. I'm rooting for you. One of the only Mets that I really actually like. So congratulations.
Yeah. And I'll try and keep the Mets stuff to a minimum. They're on fire right now. They're currently up on the national.
You're gonna love my hot take.
But I also, I'm just gonna ignore it right now. I'm just gonna be happy right now. Pete Alonzo on fire. The last episode, I said he's going to hit 4 home runs in a week. He hit 3, I believe, and then proceeded to hit 1 as soon as the new week began. So Pete just kind of said, screw you to me. But either way, he's on fire, leading the National League. Actually, I think he's leading the whole entire Major League Baseball in RBIs. I think he's number 2 in the whole league in home runs behind Aaron Judge. He's number 1 in the National League. He's mashing. He's playing good defense. And, MVP candidate, early MVP candidate. It's a lot of time, but he's currently hitting it like 289, which is by far higher than his career average, which I think is around 253, right in the low 250s. So production is there right now. It's definitely there. And I'll mention another Met later, but I'll spare everybody from here on out until then.
Well, I will say, we talk about truth on this podcast. I understand you're over there getting fucking hype about Pete Alonso. Guys, he really isn't. He's really not that. He's not as great as Sean's portraying. All right. Alvarez got 14, Betts 14, Cron 13, Jojo Ramirez 13, Trout 13. Pete Alonso's got 12. All right. He's got 12.
All right.
There's 6 guys above him. Let's go to RBIs. Let's fact check this guy who's fucking high on the Mets right now. Jojo Ramirez got 51. We'll actually talk about that later. I just ruined one of the picks to click things. I'm sorry. But Alonzo is second. He is first in the National League with 46.
I meant nationally.
Having a great year. He's having a great year.
I'm not used to the Mets being good, so you gotta cut me some slack every now and again.
Okay. Is that the rest of the league news? Or do you have more for the people today?
I have one, and you're gonna love it. Jock Peterson. Not only is he on fire and torched the Mets at one point, him and Tommy Pham are currently Will Smith and Chris Rock at the Oscars, or whatever the hell that show was.
Fantasy football show.
Yeah.
Over like a ad drop too. We're not even getting serious here. I saw the interview, and I was like waiting for like everyone to like break and laugh because it seemed like a joke.
Yeah.
But I don't understand. He's a grown man here, Sean.
I thought it was a joke when I saw it on Twitter. They got into a fight. I thought it was like a friendly thing. Then you see the video. He full on wound up and slapped him, like across the face. Like I'd rather get punched than slapped. You know what I mean? Like that's right. Like. And then I don't know if you saw the GIF he sent about the Padres last year, I guess there was like a this is what Tommy Pham really said that he was offensive to him. There was a GIF and it was like 3 weightlifters. One was like the Dodgers, one was the Giants, one was the Padres. This was last year, and like they all were lifting, and the guy lifting with the Padres was lifting a weight like fell under the weight, and he put it in the group chat, and everybody laughed. There was a bunch of Padres players in the group chat, and then Tommy Pham was like, "Hey, you don't know me well enough to joke about my team." And then Jock Peterson said, "I'm sorry, I didn't mean it to be offensive. I was just trying to make a joke." He literally showed the messages in the interview, like on camera, so he's not making it up. I don't know what Tommy Pham's doing.
I was a big Tommy Pham supporter up until now. Also, like Tommy Pham, you've been bouncing around quite a bit to feel that much like love for one team. I love the fact that you're passionate about your team that quickly. I think that's a good sign as a ball player, but odd sign as a human being. I mean, you with the Rays and Cardinals like the last 2 seasons. Like, how about we fucking chill out a little bit over there, Tommy? You know, God bless your soul.
When he got traded from the Cardinals, I think it was kind of some animosity between the two. So I don't know. Yeah. And how the hell did Tommy Pham end up on the Cincinnati Reds? I didn't know how that happened.
I don't know. I have no idea. Would anyone mind if I had some salt plantain chips?
Go for it. I know you love your plantain.
Oh, I love the plantain. Yeah. Thanks for the league news, Sean. I know I'm never a participator in that, but I do appreciate.
That's okay.
It. What I do have to go over here is our picks to click, the results they are in. Number 1, will the surging Reds be over under the 300 winning percentage mark? They were at 257 at the start of 2 weeks ago now. They had a short week of 5 games with the Guardians and the Blue Jays. Sean, you had said under. I said over. Now, I had to go back and figure out what their winning percentage was as of May 22nd. I'll tell you, they don't make it as easy as you want it to be to find out some of this going back information with stats. We put the work in and we did it. I'm sure it'd be easy for everyone else. They were at 12-28 at exactly 300. So it was a push. I got to say the odds makers are on point. Obviously, I'm the odds maker. I think that's a good job by me. So neither of us get a point. Number 2, is a Padre the league leader in average at the end of the week? This took me about 30 minutes to try and figure out what everyone's batting average was on May 22nd.
Yeah.
I had to go. I basically just went through the top 20 guys right now and seeing what their average was at the time. Now, the reason this was a thing is Machado had 359, Hosmer had 350 3 weeks ago, technically. And you know where I'm at, Sean, here.
Yeah.
At that point, Bogey was the closest at 344. Sean, you said no, someone else is going to take the top spot. I said yes, a Padre will be it. The day before, on Saturday, Tim Anderson was the league leader at, I believe, 359. Machado was a little bit under that. So coming into Saturday, you were correct. On Sunday, Machado went 4 for 4 to retake the lead from Tim Anderson, and he got up to 374 after that Sunday. So that is a point from me, believe it or not.
Wow.
And the last one, Jared Kelenic hits over under 265 in AAA. Again, we're counting from the end of the week that we were supposed to count. We both went under. He was hitting 222 at the close of that week. He had a great last 2 games, and with the short sample size, I think he's over 300 right now. But again, he had a 3-for-5 day, and I think it just boosted his average literally 80 points. Happy for Jared. Obviously, we're happy.
Yeah,
for
absolutely.
So that week total is, Sean, you have 1 point, I have 2, making the season total Sean 7, Dan 5. Sean, how do you feel? You lead shrunk by 1 there, but you're still holding on to a 2-point lead.
I'm happy with the lead, but I'm not satisfied. I lost a little bit of a margin there, and I hope to regain that this week. I know my opponent's coming at me with all he has. So
thank you. I appreciate that. Now we can get into the hitter highlights, if you don't mind. What do you want to do?
Yeah, I like that.
Okay. Do you have a hitter you want? I know you said you were a little bit.
I have. Well, it's a Met. So I know I don't want to make everybody roll their eyes when they hear me talk about the Mets, but It's a guy you like. Some call him the second coming of Daniel Murphy. I call him Jeff McNeil, the squirrel. He really can just put the ball in play. Last year was a weird year. He hit 250 because the year prior, the first half, I guess, no, it was 2019, the year before COVID. The COVID year, throw that out the window. He hit like 330 in the first half. Not like 2 home runs. Second half, he hit like 250, but he hit like 15 or 16 home runs. And then the year after that, I think he went back to the home run hitting, which he really isn't a home run hitter. And that's why his average dipped and his strikeouts went up. This year, he's back to what he was when he first came up. He's just hitting for average. He has like 2 or 3 home runs this year. He's currently hitting 317 with a 372 on base percentage, 836 OPS, and only 18 strikeouts in 164 at-bats, 180 plate appearances. So that's pretty solid.
Keep going. I'm sorry. Keep going.
No, I was just saying solid. You're good.
Yeah, and I was saying like there's like maybe one other player on the Mets that I actually like. I was referencing Jeff McNeil. Same kind of. He's Luis Guillorme, but like all-star level. Luis Guillorme. He's got more. Yeah. A little bit more pop in the bat. He's a player. I love Jeff McNeil. Big fan of his. I like the Daniel Murphy comparison. Huge Daniel Murphy guy, obviously over here. Until he left the Mets, I hated Daniel Murphy off the Mets. I'll tell you that. I don't know why.
That's bizarre.
Yeah, I don't know what to tell you. My hitter highlights for the league, Sean, I have 2, and I feel like every week it's people I hate. Bryce Harper and can't figure it, but people every week it's like I don't really like these people. Finally, we got 2 players this week, Sean. I love them both. And what I did is I said I'm going to take the 2 weeks now. I'm going to give 2 weeks sample size. I think it's better anyway that way. So these are the players for stats for the last 2 weeks. First one is Mookie Betts, Sean, of your LA Dodgers. He was hitting 254 at the start of the 2 weeks. At the end of it, he's hitting 294. So he increased that by 40 points. How you doing, Thunder? Please don't yell at me. He went 21 for 54. Hit 388 over the 2 weeks with 20 runs, 6 doubles, 7 bombs, 15 steaks, and the best part, of course, 8 walks and 9 Ks. And his outs above average, Sean, back above the 80th percentile. All the little circles are back to red. It looks like that injury was really kind of hampering both his defense and his offense, and I'm glad to see that he is turning it around after somewhat of a slow start. You know, he's back up to 300 with decent power. And I'm hyped for Mookie Betts. I love a good Mook. That's what I love.
How could you not?
How could you not? I guess I'll double up here. I'll give my second guy. It's going to be Rafi Devers, folks. I mean, you thought I loved Mookie. I don't think there's many players I love more than Rafi. 24 for 61 over the 2 weeks, hit 393, 16 runs, 6 doubles, 5 bombs, and only 7 steaks, believe it or not. But he's hitting pretty high in the order, so that's the reason why. Sean, his chase rate is 3rd percentile in the league. His whiff rate's at 22%, walk rate at 12%, which are all pretty much career lows. He's always been pretty high in those categories, but they're even lower this year. Again, he's hitting, I think he's the 2nd highest average in the league, if not the highest right now. What is it, Sean? The mystery continues with these people swinging and missing and not walking anymore and having wild success. Blows my mind. Devers is 7th in the league in average. I'm sorry. He's hitting 341 though, Sean.
He has the most hits in the league, I believe, too.
Yes, he has 70 hits, most in the league. I remember that. I don't even need to fact check that. The mystery continues. I don't know what to tell you. I still haven't figured it out, guys. I'm sorry. I'm looking. I am. It just doesn't make any sense to me.
I mean, you're going to get to the bottom of it one way or another, whether we, the podcast gets shut down because of it. You know, some people don't like digging in the wrong places.
Right.
And by the way, you were right. He does have 70 hits for the year.
Thank you. Yeah, anything to say about Mookie or Devers this year?
Devers is just kind of – I still feel he's underrated. I mean, there are many guys that I think are underrated. There's many guys I think are overrated. Bryce Harper being one, even though he's having a good year, which is weird to say because Devers plays for the Red Sox. The Red Sox, I feel like, get the second most amount of play in baseball nationally behind the Yankees, or maybe the Dodgers are ahead of him too. But nonetheless, he's a very underrated player, and I might be because this year because the Red Sox are off to a slow start. Mookie Betts, however, I feel like he has since going to the Dodgers. His first year, he did very well. I feel like after that, he maybe underperformed a bit last year, and this year had a bit of a slow start. Maybe it was a little concerning for some people. I don't know how you felt.
Yeah.
But him kind of kicking into higher gear is important. I mean, the Dodgers, they're loaded in that lineup. Who would you rather pitch to, Freddie Freeman, Mookie Betts, or Trey Turner? Or Max Muncy? I mean, the list just goes on,
And I'll tell you, Freeman and Turner, looking at the stats, could have easily made the highlight for this week. They both also had amazing weeks this week.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm just Mookie, even with the defense coming back, because that was a concern for some people. Is he falling off defensively too? Because such a big aspect of his game. But it seems like that's back as well. And I'm just excited for Devers, like you said, to hopefully be more in the mainstream. I think it's struggling for him. He's struggled the last 2 years because he hit around 270 both years, combined, around 265 and 280-ish.
Yeah.
He's hitting over 300 this year. There's no way he doesn't. He was supposed to the last 2 years too. I'm telling you, this guy's hitting 320 this year. I'm just so high on Rafi Devers. I love the kid. That's what I got. Do you have a pitcher highlight for this week?
I actually have one from today. Basically, this is the whole season before. I believe you and I, or both of us, already talked about him, so I won't go too much in detail. Pablo Lopez, the Marlins, as a part of that Marlins staff that's doing well. You'll talk about Sandy Alcantara later. He was my other guy, so I don't want to steal Dan's thunder. But today he went 6 innings. I think 4 walks, 5 Ks, no decision. The team ended up losing 7-1. The bullpen gave up 7 runs in the final 3 innings. Not good. And that they're kind of having some growing pains in that regard. Their offense isn't there, but either way, their pitching rotation has a bright future moving forward. Pablo Lopez, I mean, I can just rattle off the numbers again. He's got a 2.04 ERA, which has actually gone up in the past couple of outings, believe it or not. I won't go too much into detail because we already talked about him, prior. But I feel like he needs to get the proper recognition that he deserves. I feel like the Marlins don't help that at all. But
yeah, I mean, I'm going to jump into another Marlins pitcher here, a guy that I was a little bit lower on coming into the season than I think you and Zeke were. Not in a bad way. Again, I compared him to Stroman and Fried, 2 other really great pitchers, just because of strikeout rate. But did Alcantara have or you think Alcantara? Is it Alcantara or Alcantara?
When the Mets play the Marlins, the announcers say Alcantara. I don't know.
I'm going to go it's Alcantara. No offense, Ron Darling. I love you dearly. He had a fucking week and a half. So 3-0, 25 innings pitched, Sean, the last 2 weeks. I'm sorry, 2 weeks and a half. 2 earned runs, 3 walks, and 26 strikeouts versus Washington, and then twice against Atlanta. So he had faced a decent offense twice in a row, which I will say is much tougher than facing 2 different decent offenses twice in a row. Surprisingly, they did not catch up to him the second time. I got used to him. Sorry. 2 8 innings pitched, 1 earned games, the latter with 14 strikeouts against Atlanta and a complete game shutout. He threw a complete game shutout against Atlanta and then went back out and threw 8 innings with 14 Ks against Atlanta. So clearly the offense didn't adjust to Sandy. 4 innings pitched more than anyone else over those 2 weeks, which is like 1 inning less than the average start these days. So, I mean, he went 8-9. 8-9.
Yeah.
You're not seeing that these days, Sean. So, hell of a week for the kid. 2 weeks again. But I'm just going to clap it up for Sandy. And I'm sorry your head got cut off today, buddy. I didn't do it on purpose. Hopefully it'll be fixed in the thumbnail. We can only dream.
You said that so elegantly. Sorry, I can't speak.
No, you're fine.
He's the Marlins. I think. I mean, I've said before, they have a bright future if they can just get some offense together. Also, fun fact about the Marlins. There's a guy I work with at the Hall of Fame. Originally from Long Island, moved to Florida, coached baseball there. One of his players that he coached, Lewis Bryn Diesel, no longer on the Marlins, but
Yeah,
I just thought of it. He said he was great in high school, and that he peaked there. I guess I don't know.
I was high on Brinson coming into the majors. You ever seen that home run derby he did in like Hawaii off a dock into the water?
I think so. Yeah.
If you haven't, guys, take a look at that. That's a fun video to watch. Might not have been Hawaii. It might have been just a Latin country. God bless. I'm gonna get into some batters to watch that we discussed, if you don't mind, Sean.
Right ahead, man.
So these are from the last couple of weeks, obviously, just keeping up. Jock Peterson. Sean, we got one. Okay, we got one. I'm sorry it came at your expense. One of the greatest games probably ever. But Jock, this last week, but we're not talking about 2 weeks ago and this week. We're just talking about this last week. Honestly, 2 weeks ago, he still hadn't broken out yet. But this last week, 9 for 21. Okay, which is damn near 500. 4 homers, 13 steaks. He made his average go from 229 to 267 in 7 days. Okay, Jock Peterson broke out. Thank you to everyone who listened to me. You're welcome. Mitch Keller got turned into a lone reliever. He threw 6 innings pitched with 2 earned, so frankly, he's doing better in that role. Good for you, Mitch.
Yeah.
JD Davis had a 2 for 4 and a 4 for 5 performance mixed in some spot starts. You would know better than I. Hopefully, he had some dud games as well, but he had two little nice games there. And then Severino turned in 3 decent starts the last 2 weeks. 19.1 innings pitched, 5 earned runs. 4 of them came in that last one. So 2 really great starts. His ERA went down from 4.08 to 3.38, which is pretty much where I think it's going to sit, around 3.3. So he got it down to where I thought it would be. So that's another win for me, Sean. I'm pretty happy about that one. We've been taking some losses. So this week I feel good about my people to watch. Any comments?
That's beautiful. I mean, Jock Peterson, you could have just waited another week, another couple games. And JD Davis, he's a player who's kind of like Dom Smith, needs to play every day to get in a groove. And unfortunately, or fortunately, I guess, it's not going to happen with this team. They just have too many players ahead of him. I mean, Eduardo Escobar isn't exactly ripping the cover off the ball either, but he's hitting like 224, but he's getting hot, though. He had a walk-off hit last night. By the way, hell of a Mets game last night. Nick Plummer, first major league hit, home run to tie it in the 9th against the Phillies. Eduardo Escobar, walk-off, single, double, whatever you want to call it. We knock off the Phillies. Either way, back to JD Davis. He has moments where he looks lost up there. He's swinging at pitches that never even crossed the zone. And then other times he just gets bad luck. Like he literally almost took the pitcher's head off a couple weeks ago, and the guy caught it. Like he had a game where he's 0 for 3 with 3 balls that exit velo right around 100. So
and that matches up why he landed on my people to watch list. Because again, the biggest thing I look for when I'm looking at these guys, like Kyle Tucker earlier in the year, is like expected statistics splits. So like the difference. So like what are their expected weighted on base versus what their weighted on base is. And sometimes people are very, very split in those things, and you have to imagine that luck will turn around. So people for this week now, we got to talk about my batter to watch for this week is Christian Walker of the Arizona Diamondbacks. He's hitting 195 right now, Sean. His expected average, though, is 272. So quite a jump there. His BABIP is 176. His career normal BABIP is 290. So maybe hitting into some bad luck. He's got 94 percentile weighted on base percentage, 93 percentile for barrel, 96 for expected slugging. And I think very interestingly, 95 percentile for outs above average doesn't really play into the fact that he's getting unlucky at the plate, but nice to see that his defense has not suffered through struggles. I know a lot of times it's really difficult to stay engaged mentally, especially defensively, when you're struggling so hard at the dish, especially when you should be having good results because you're hitting the ball hard. Something interesting as well is walk rate is up 3% and his strikeout rate's down 4%. You like to see that. And his average exit velocity up 2%. Not a huge fan of Christian Walker, never have been. Kind of that NL West thing. He's actually had some decent success against Clayton, which I haven't been too fond of. A couple homers that I can even remember flashbacks of. But congrats, Christian. I think you're going to have a good couple weeks. I do. I think you're going to break out soon.
Well, if you have the same touch you had with Jock Peterson, then I should tell everybody to watch out because it's going to be dangerous.
Do you have any people to watch for this week, or should I just go right into my pitcher?
My player to watch is also going to be a hot take, so
Okay.
I can save that for the hot take portion.
Well, hot take is up next, so I'll quickly go to my pitcher, which is in your NL East division. So I apologize, Zach Eflin. Okay, 4.60 ERA. His expected ERA is 2.51, and we folks are going to go into a pitcher breakdown here. So I'm going to pull up his, Baseball Savant, which I should have already had up. We're going to share our screen here. You excited, Sean?
I'm very excited.
So here's Zachary. Maybe it's not even Zachary on his birth certificate because they're just going Zach here. Again, ERA and expected ERA. For some reason, that's wrong. It's not 4.61. It is 4.60, guys. There's truth even in the .01s here. Let's take a look at what happened, right? With pitchers, I like to see what changed. Why is he at least supposed to be doing better? So right now we got sinker, curveball, cutter, fastball. He's got a decent mix. He's also throwing a changeup, 8%. So now we go down here. The biggest difference is he's throwing his curveball now almost 20%. Last year he threw it only 10%, 11%, because he was throwing his slider 25%, which is now down to 4%, his lowest amount. As you can see, last year his slider was kind of sticking out of the bunch, especially for a high percentage pitch. People were hitting 321 off that slider last year. They took a look at that, said we're not going to throw that anymore. The curveball seemed much more effective. Now they're throwing the curveball more. He's having a lot of success with it, probably through tunneling. 156, and the expected's right there. So he's having a great amount of success with the curve. They're not throwing the slider anymore. And now, for some reason, the expected is kind of lined back up with the batting average. I was a little surprised that they made that big of a decision to basically cut out a secondary pitch when the expected was still pretty good as far as the slider goes. I mean, there's a huge discrepancy here. But you know what? It might just be a confidence thing, too. I mean, that plays, you know? At the end of the day, we're all human beings. And if Eflin's like, I threw 389 sliders last year and they hit 320 off me on it, I don't feel comfortable throwing it anymore. Honestly, God bless if you have more confidence with the curveball, you're probably going to make better pitches with it. So he made that the secondary pitch. Clearly, that's going well for him. And I think that's the big difference. He also added the cutter at the end of last year. It looks like he's throwing that a good amount. Hasn't found too much success with it yet. We'll see going forward whether he stays with that or not, because it's at almost 16%, which is a good amount. If I were him, I'd probably try and see what this changeup could do. I'm not him, because his changeup's had pretty moderate success the past 2 years. I would say maybe bump that over the cutter. I guess he just doesn't tunnel it well with the sinker. That's what I'm assuming, because they're both downward moving pitches. I'm thinking through this at this point. And the cutter is kind of that horizontal plane movement in place of the slider. I'm going to assume that's why they moved the cutter there. The cutter is now the slider because it's at least harder. Maybe they're going to assume it's getting hit less hard. That's my breakdown of Zach Eflin, though. I think he's going to have you can see little red circles here. That's the baseball for dummies. And it seems like he's kind of underperformed a couple of years now, which maybe means he's just going to underperform again. But I don't know. I like Zach Eflin going forward. The next couple starts, I'll be watching him.
You know, it doesn't help as far as the defense behind him either.
Yeah,
that's true. Balls that should be caught that aren't and turn into hits when really it's not his fault. And
that's
vice
why
versa.
A lot of Phillies pitchers underperform.
Yeah. Not to continue to harp on the Phillies, but yeah. I like that.
How'd you feel about my breakdown, Sean? Did you appreciate it, or was it too much?
I thought it was very informative, very official.
Thank you.
It was beautiful. It was beautiful.
Well, we're at hot takes, so I'd love you to be able to go into whatever you got to say.
Okay. Well, one of the big ticket free agents last year, Marcus Simeon, finally joined the home run club the other day. His first home run for the Texas Rangers, and folks, he's currently hitting 196.
Not helping my fantasy team either.
1 home run and 17 RBIs. Frankly, it couldn't be any worse than that. He does have 6 stolen bases, so I mean, he's doing something. He hit 196. I forget the contract. It was 7 years and then a lot of money. Frankly, I saw this coming. I thought that it was going to just go right down. Maybe not this much, but I didn't think what he did last year was that sustainable. Either way, he hit a home run this week. I think he's going to hit 2 home runs this week. That's my hot take.
Woo!
And bump his batting average above the Mendoza line, above 200.
Sean, I love the hot take. I do want to apologize to him and his family. Again, as we spoke about on the second base pre-rankings, I said that I did not draft him the first year. Drafted him the second year, believe in the hype, got burned. Did not draft him again because I got burned. Almost MVP again. Drafted him again this year. Looks like it would seem to me, Sean, there's 2 seasons he's MVP, 2 seasons he's terrible. Seems to be a correlation. I'm sorry, Marcus. I'm sorry, Kyle. I'm sorry, everyone I drafted this year. I'm sorry, everyone I draft every year. I can't do anything about it.
Just draft him next year then. It's every other year at this point. Just go
No,
for it.
I feel like if I draft him next year, he'll suck. I want him to have a decent career. He deserves it.
Fair enough. Very kind.
My hot take from last week, I guess I'll just talk about it. I like to see how he did. It would have looked great, but then Kelnick again tripled and homered last night. He was hitting about 220. Now he's hitting, I think, a little bit over 300. So, honestly, I'd love to be wrong. I hope Jared's mental gets fixed. I watched videos of him hitting the triple and homer. It seemed like he wasn't happy. He was relieved, which is good, but short term. Like, if he doesn't keep succeeding, he's going to freak out again.
Yeah.
He hit the triple, and he got to third, and he was like, his coach was like, yeah. He was like, it's like not like winded. It was like, all right, all right, like Jesus Christ. Jared, I'm rooting for you. My hot take for this week, though, is that the Mets go winless this week. Okay, it's Monday right now. I don't know what's the score tonight.
They're up 12-3 right now in the Nationals.
12-3, huh?
Yeah.
The Mets win 1 game. It's my hot take. They play the Nationals and the Dodgers. And I said no games within 1 run either. And Tuesday, we're talking Tuesday to Sunday, they don't win 1 game. Okay? Tuesday to Sunday, they don't win 1 fucking game, and they don't even come within a run of a win. Okay? They had come into the week winning 3 straight. We'll count it as 4 straight currently. If the Nats come back and win, though, that counts as my hot take, even if they win the rest of the week. Okay? Maybe my hot take should just be they come back tonight. What anything?
I think you do it.
Yeah. What inning are they in right now?
I think they're in like the 4th or 5th.
Oh yeah, no, they're done. They won't win a game this week. Whatever. Thanks, Sean.
Well, it's 12-4 now in the bottom of the 5th.
That's right. It is. Don't call it a comeback. We're gonna get into our picks to click, unless you got something else to go over.
I do not.
Okay. So the first one, Sean, are you ready?
I'm ready.
Judge has 18 homers. Okay. And Julio Rodriguez has 14 stolen bases. What happens first, Judge to 20 bombs or Julio to 15 bags?
He has 14.
And Judge has 18.
I'm going Julio to 15 bags.
Okay. I'm going to go Julio as well. I mean, Julio's getting hot right now, and I mean, Judge hitting 2 homers is not crazy because he's fucking stroking the ball right now. Yeah. I'm going to stay with Julio as well. We'll look to make up points elsewhere.
By
The
the way,
next,
Leif is like just about to just next time I see him, is just gonna absolutely torture me because I'm pretty sure I judged like fifth best like position ranking. I don't know. I think I kind of shit on him. So, yeah, I just gotta prepare myself for that.
thank God I said he was going to break out this year. I don't think I even had him that high though, maybe third. So what are you going to do? My next thing was going to be when I had wrote it, it was Betts had 49 runs scored and Jose Ramirez had 49 RBIs. Who was the first one to 50? As I was writing the third one, Jose Ramirez hit a 2-run homer.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
So congratulations, Jose. You won that. So we're going to scratch that. The next one I came up with was Suarez, Schwarber, and Patrick Wisdom have 64 and 65 Ks. So Suarez and Schwarber, God, it's like a fucking tongue twister here, have 64 strikeouts. Wisdom has 65 strikeouts. Who has the most strikeouts at the end of the week? And a bonus point if you can guess how many they have.
I'm gonna go Suarez just because there's a little more track record there. Schwarber strikes out a lot, and so does Wisdom, but you hang with Suarez, my God, and he's at 64 right now.
Yeah.
How many games? He probably plays what, like 6 games this week. Hmm. 76 strikeouts.
76. Okay. All right. Now
Yeah.
I had answered this already. I pre-answered a couple of these because I didn't want to base off what you said, and I just want to go with my gut first instinct and not be able to think about it. I had Suarez at 71. I was interested to see what you said. I thought 6 games. I thought he was going to get 7 strikeouts, 1 per game, and then 1 more. I think he probably gets more than 1 a game.
That's what I was. That's a tough thing to gauge. I don't know. Yeah.
I kind of want to change it to like 72, 73, but I'm not gonna. The reason I did it early so I couldn't go off of what you say, so I'm gonna leave it at 71. Number 3, the smallest divisional lead is 3.5 games. So we're early on, and there's a pretty big margin in almost every single division now. By Los Angeles and Milwaukee over San Diego and St. Louis, those are the closest. Again, 3.5 game leads there in those divisions. Is the smallest divisional lead over or under 3 games? There are some 4.5 as well. So all it would take is, I guess, a 2-game swing.
I want to say under.
I have under as well, Sean. This isn't good. We have the same answers for everything. I'm going to look back and see if I'm going to change something. Because I can't have this. I'm not going to gain anything here. This is like me taking a scratch. Now, I believe Julio. I'm with you with Julio getting the 15 hits. Julio's hot right now, too. All he needs is a single. Judge needs 2 bombs. They're both hot. Do I change Suarez? I believe you with Suarez. I mean, Suarez is fucking strikeout king.
Yeah.
I can't go Schwarber just for my heart, Sean. I can't.
If you're a fantasy team.
I'm gonna go Patrick Wisdom. I just got to try and make up points here, Sean. Patrick Wisdom, and I'm changing my number to 74. Patrick Wisdom. Okay. Over under, and I'm gonna go over a 3-game lead in every single division at the end of this week. I don't believe either of those 2 answers, guys. But at this point, we're playing strategically. Okay, I got to make up points. Sean doesn't have to move right now. Sean's in the lead. He can just be like, I don't care if we have the same answers. We'll just have the same answers throughout. I'll win.
Yeah.
So we gotta make moves. I've had a fun time with my head resting on Sandy's trunk all night. Thanks for tuning in, guys. God, if I turned around, right? That'd be bad. That would be fucking bad. Sean, you have anything else to tell him?
I'm speechless. No. I'm done. I got nothing else to add.
All right, well, I want to say God bless you all. Like, comment, and subscribe down below. Get your hats. No, not these Wimbledon hats. But we'll see you next week. I'm sorry for missing a week, guys. Again, COVID in Europe does not mesh as well as you'd like. We'll see you next week. Goodbye from me and Christian.